So welcome everyone. Today we'll be solving a problem on hexagonal pyramid. So we have dealt related to the problem description in the Google Meet already. I'll just show you a demonstration how to solve the problem, beta angle problem, when the given hexagonal pyramid is resting on one of its edge and one of its corner. So let us start off with the problem taking on the hexagonal pyramid when it is resting on one of its corner. So here you can see it is an hexagonal pyramid of side 25 mm and base 50 mm axis. So you know that hexagonal pyramid will be having a base surface which has all the 6 surfaces. So the side is 25 mm, means all the side of the base will be equal to 25 mm. And the axis is about 50 mm. So the axis distance right from the apex to the bottom of the surface will be exactly equal to 50 mm. So it is resting on HP with one of its corner of the base. So you have 6 corners. So you have to align one of the corner of the base on the horizontal plane. So we have our horizontal plane as well as the vertical plane. So if we place the given solid object, in our case it is hexagonal pyramid, in such a way that it is resting on one of its corner. So always when it is told it is resting on one of its corner, we have to keep one of the corner towards our right. So when we keep one of the corner towards our right, we will be having the opposite corner towards our left. So this should be the position of the given solid pyramid, hexagonal pyramid. So you have to rest one of the corner in such a way that the base edges will make equal inclinations with our horizontal plane. So this will be the position of the given hexagonal pyramid when it is resting on one of its corner. So you will keep one of the corner towards your right. So after placing, so when you view from the top, you will be seeing the hexagonal surface. That is the true shape of our base as the top view. So when you view from the top, you will be seeing the center as well as the base surface. The center of the bottom surface will not be visible, right? So you will be having O, which is the center of the top apex, and O1, the center of the bottom surface. So when you view from the top, O will be visible and O1 will not be visible. So you will write O outside the bracket and O1 inside the bracket. So the true shape of the, so in top view you will see the true shape of the hexagonal pyramid. So after that, when you view from the front, you will see the projection of this longer edge, projection of this longer edge, and projection of these two longer edges. But it will look like a rectangle, triangle only. Why? Because all the pyramid is bounded by triangular surface. Here in case of hexagonal pyramid, it is bounded by 6 triangular surface. So when you view from the front, you will be seeing a triangular surface as our front view, right? But you will be having the projection of this edge, projection of this edge, projection of this edge. Along with it, the axis line will be visible from the top to the bottom. So front view will be an triangular surface and top view will be the hexagonal surface, which provides a true shape of our pentagonal pyramid. Since it is resting on one of its corner, I told you have to show the corner towards our right. So here you should face the corner, right? So you will be getting the opposite corner towards this side. So for that, you need to leave some convenient space and first draw an horizontal line. So after you draw the horizontal line, you see what is the dimension. So it is 25 mm. So please measure 25 mm. As the side. And then since it is hexagon, it will be having 6 sides. So if you take the interior angle, it will be exactly equal to 120 degrees. So interior angle here will be 120. If you take exterior, it will be 60 degrees. So here also you take an interior angle of 120 degrees. After that, you measure 25 mm side using the compass. Keep 100 of the compass here and just cut an arc. And again keep 100 of the compass here and cut an arc for 25 mm. Right? So remaining part you can erase it out. And again from this point, you can take 120 degree interior angle. And again from here you take 120 degree interior angle. And then you measure 25 mm and cut an arc, 25 mm, and you cut an arc. You got all the corners. So join this. Right? You have constructed the true shape of the pentagonal pyramid over here. So each angle here, interior will be 120. Right? So when you view this pyramid from the top, what happens is the bottom base will be visible. So we'll give the name for the bottom base. For when you view from the top, all the sides of the hexagonal pyramid will be visible. So we name them as A, B, C, D, E and F. And you know, for all the solid objects, we will join the diagonals to find the center. So here also please join the diagonals. So here you will be having the apex O and O1 as the center of the bottom surface. So O will be visible and O1 will not be visible. So you will write O outside the bracket and O1 within the bracket. So this provides the true shape of the solid pyramid. So once this is done, we have to take the projections above. So now you kindly take the projection from B. C and E will come along the same line. B and F will come along the same line. A also will come along the same line. Apart from that, we have the axis line. So we should not forget to draw the axis line. So please take the projection from the axis line also. And after taking the projection, you see what is the axis length. It is exactly equal to 50 mm. So please show the axis line pattern. After showing the axis line pattern, you measure exactly 60 mm. Okay, using the compass. So keep one end of the compass here and just cut an arc for 60 mm. So this will be our apex O dash. So once you get the center line fixed for the given dimension, then you start joining from the apex to the corners. Right? So you can join from O dash to here. Okay. So then please show the dimension of the axis equal to 50 mm. Don't forget to show the dimension. So after you give the dimension, now you start writing the naming for the front view. So when the observer views from here, A will be visible. So when it comes to the front view, it becomes A dash. So now here the observer views from the bottom. B and F is along the same line. So B will be visible and F won't be visible. So you will write B dash outside the bracket and F dash within the bracket. And here you have two centers, O1 of the bottom surface and O of the top surface. So when the observer views from down, O1 will not be visible. So you will write within the bracket as O1 dash. And you come here, when the observer views from here, C and E will be along the same line. C will be visible and E won't be visible. So you will write C dash outside the bracket and E dash within the bracket. And again here, you project, when the observer views from here, the corner D will be visible. So when it comes to the front view, it will be D dash. So now we have completed the first stage of the front view and the top view, wherein it provides a true shape of the top view in case of hexagonal pyramid. And the front view will look like a triangular surface because all the pyramids are bounded by triangular surface. So once this part is over, so now we have to come for the next stage. Always we assume the axis to be perpendicular initially in the first stage, then the axis will be inclined to HP, then the axis will be inclined to VP. So it is a problem on axis inclination with respect to VP. So we need to determine the beta angle. So let us focus on it in the last stage. So now what about the second stage? It is telling that the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree. So leave some space and just draw an axis line. So this angle is equal to 40 degree. So after drawing the axis line, now we have to shift the front view which was vertical upright into the inclined position. So similarly, so this will be the position of the given hexagonal pyramid. So here the axis is vertical. Later the axis will be inclined to 40 degree to HP. Okay, so we will identify the distance now from the center to this corner. What is the distance? Use the compass. Measure the distance from O1 dash to D dash. So same distance you come here and start moving on the XY line. So somewhere it cuts our XY plane. So which is the reference point? You kindly mark it out. So you will use the compass, measure the distance, move on the 40 degree line and just cut an arc. Okay. So now you got the reference point from where we have cut the arc. So join these two. So this line should be exactly perpendicular to our 40 degree line. So you will join this line to the arc what we have cut. So this will be exactly 90 degree. So we have now shifted half the base. So remaining half is left out. So what we do is to just extend this perpendicular line. Okay. Extend the perpendicular line. So now you measure from O1 dash to C dash what is the distance and just cut an arc. Similarly from O1 dash to B dash what is the distance and you just cut an arc. Right? So you got all the parts on this baseline. And now after getting the base shifted, you please measure 50 mm. Okay, so come back to 40 degree axis line and cut an arc. So before that you just extend the axis line little bit. You measure 50 mm using the compass. Keep one end of the compass here, measure 50 mm and cut an arc. So it will meet somewhere on the 40 degree line. So name that as O dash. Right? After that we will join the corners. So you will join from the corner of the edge to here. From each point you will connect to our apex. Okay. So after that start giving the naming. So this will be A dash. So this will be B dash and F dash. Same thing. What you have named over here, same thing we will be writing. So this is O1 dash. So this is C1 dash and E1 dash and this is D dash. So we have shifted the terminologies along with the front view. Only the changes, the axis was vertical and now the axis is inclined to 40 degree to HP. So this is like how the given solid object looks like. So it has been inclined to 40 degree. The axis is inclined to 40 degree to HP. Okay. So after that you please take the projections down. Please take the projections down from the front view from each and every point. Don't forget a single point also. And from the apex. Right? So after taking the projection, start taking the projection from the top view also. After taking the projections, the extra lines you can erase so that you won't be having any confusion. Right? After that you start reading the locus. So we have locus of A is meeting A dash at this point. So this is our A. So locus of B is meeting B dash at this point. So this is our B. Locus of C is meeting C dash at this point. So this is our C. Locus of D is meeting D dash at this point. So this is our D. Locus of E is meeting E dash at this point. So this is our E. Locus of F is meeting F dash at this point. So this is our F. Apart from that we have O1 dash and O dash. So see the locus of O1 and O1 dash is meeting at here. So this is O1 and O1 dash. So this is our O1. Similarly the locus of O is meeting O dash at this point. So this is our O. And always I tell you the outer boundary of the given solid object will be visible. So when this given solid object is inclined to 40 degree to HP, so when the observer views from here, the entire outer boundary of the surface will be visible. So always we join the outer boundary first. So you join A to B, B to C, C to O, E to O, F to E and A to F. Right. So outer boundary is visible. So once you join the outer boundary of the given hexagonal pyramid, you see now you have one corner D dash which is on XY line. So the projection coming through this corner will be always hidden. So D dash is coming and meeting here at D. So projections from D to C has to be drawn and D to E has to be drawn. So both will be hidden. Right? So we have completed the bottom surface of the hexagon and we have covered our outer body. And I told you that from the corners of the surface, the projections which comes out will be continuous, thick and visible line. So this is joined already, this is joined already. So only the projection line which is left out is from D to O. So kindly join with thick, visible line. Okay. And we have two more corners, F and B. So the projections which is coming from F to O is on the outer boundary. B to O is also on the outer boundary. It is not through inside the surface. And hence this also will be continuous line. Okay. So this is how it looks. Apart from that, we have one more edge which is coming across the outer boundary, which is from A to O. You have an axis line here from O1 to O, but that axis line is overplaced by the longer edge A to O. So you will join a continuous line from A to O. So this will be the second stage, front view and the top view. So from O1 to O is our apparent length. You can measure and check what is the dimension is. I told you already this is a problem on axis inclination directly to VP. So it is an apparent angle problem. Why? In the first stage, the axis distance you will be getting the true length in case of a front view. But when the axis is inclined to some angle, when you check the axis length over here in top view, you will be just getting the apparent length. Since the axis length in the second stage and the first stage is not equal, we have to determine our apparent angle first. When in the given problem the axis is inclined to particular angle at VP. Okay, so we have completed the first stage and the second stage. So what's it's telling? The given axis is inclined to VP at 30 degree. So we will take an 30 degree line. Okay, so after taking 30 degree line, since it is apparent angle determination, first we have to measure the true length from the first stage. So you measure the true length from the first stage of the front view, from O1 dash to O dash. What is the distance? 50 mm. So fix a particular point. Let this be O. Then you measure 50 mm and you just cut an arc on 30 degree line. So where it cuts, you just draw the locus. So this is our O1. So this is the true length. After showing the true length, come back to the second stage and measure the apparent length of the axis. So from O to O1, what is the distance you measure? Same distance you come here, keep one end of the point fixed and just cut an arc on the locus of O1. So this is the locus of O1. So from O1 to O you join. So this is the apparent length. So once you get the apparent length of the axis, you will extend that to our XY line. So this angle will be nothing but our beta. So what angle you are getting, you please write within a box and show its value. Okay. So after constructing the apparent length, we need to reconstruct the entire problem. So how will you construct? Now we have O1 to O distance here. Remaining part we have to construct. So if you just extend this O1 little bit down, you can get one corner of the base surface. So you just extend the apparent length line down and measure from O1 to A what is the distance using the compass. Keep that measurement and just cut an arc. So you will get the corner here as A. After that, from O1 to D, you measure what is the distance. Measure the distance and you please cut an arc. So this will be D. You got the corner A and D. You know the center now, O1. So you need to determine F and B, E and C. E and C is along the same line, F and B is along the same line. But so for that you should identify this point through which you have the projections. So from O1 to this midpoint. So in between O1 and D you have a midpoint. So please identify the midpoint of O and D. Okay, so you just measure the distance from O1 to the midpoint and just make a reference point. Similarly, in between A and O you identify the midpoint. Okay, measure this distance and just make a reference point. So after this, drop a perpendicular line, okay, through this. So once you drop the perpendicular line, extend it little bit above because you don't know exactly what is the dimension. After extending the perpendicular line, so from the midpoint you measure, from the midpoint to E what is the distance, come here and cut an arc. And again from the midpoint to C what is the distance, you please measure, come here and you cut an arc. And again from this midpoint to F what is the distance you measure, come here and cut an arc. And again from this midpoint to B what is the distance you measure, come here and cut an arc. So we got all the corners of the base. So A and D we have named. So this is our E. So this is E and this is F. This is B. Please give proper naming. And this is C. Right? So bottom surface we have done and center O1 also we have located and apex also we have. So the same thing now has to be shifted to apparent angle inclination. So you know that the outer boundary is visible. So please join using continuous straight line A to F, A to B, B to C is also visible. Join B to C. F to E is also visible. Join F to E. And then E to D is hidden. We can see hidden line. So please show the hidden line. And again D to C is hidden. Okay. So that is over. And later we need to join all the corners to our apex. So join E to O, C to O, F to O and B to O. So now we have shifted the second stage top view to the third stage. Only the difference is the apparent length is now inclined to apparent angle beta. So this is the third stage top view. So once this is done, so now it's our work to take the projection above. So please take the projection from each and every point. So from F, from E, from D, from O, from C, please draw it parallelly. B and A. Okay, so let this be drawn parallelly. Once you take the projection above from the top view, so now we have to extend the projection from our front view also. So please take the projection from O dash, A dash, B dash, O1 dash and C1 dash. Right? So after taking the projection, start reading the locus. So here you have locus of F is meeting F dash at this point. So this is our F dash. So locus of E, so this is E. Locus of E is meeting E dash at this point. So this is our E dash. And locus of A and A dash is meeting at this point. So this is our A dash. And locus of B, this is B. Locus of B and B dash is here. So this is our B dash. And then locus of C and C dash is meeting here. So this is our C dash. And locus of D. So this is locus of D and locus of D dash is meeting here. So this is our D dash. And then we haven't taken the projection of O1. So please take the projection of O1. So projection of O1 is meeting O1 dash at this point. So this is our O1 dash. After that we have the projection of O. Projection of O is meeting O dash at this point. So this is our O dash. So now we have given the naming for all the base corners, center as well as the apex. So when the given solid object is inclined, the outer boundary will be visible always. So please join the outer boundary first. E dash to D1 dash, D1 dash to C dash, E dash to F dash, F dash to A dash to O dash, O dash to C dash. And when the observer views from here, the bottom surface will be visible. So this we have to join using continuous thick line. So once this is done, so I told you from the corners of the outer surface, the projections will be continuous and thick line. So we have joined from the corner, A dash to O dash is joined, C dash to O dash is joined. So we have left out with B dash to O dash, which is the corner passing through outer surface. So that will be visible. So you will join it. Right? So after that, we have the corners for the projection which has to be drawn through inside the surface. So this is the bottom surface. The projections from the corner of the surface is continuous and visible, that we have darkened. So apart from that, we have the projections which is passing through inside the surface. So F dash and O dash is passing through inside the surface. E dash to O dash is passing through inside the surface. D dash to O dash which is passing through inside the surface. So all these projection line will be hidden lines. So you show F dash to O dash as visible line. D dash to O dash as visible line. E dash to O dash as visible or hidden line. So once you show the hidden line, you should not forget to show the axis line also. So kindly show the axis line from O1 dash to O dash. So this is how the final stage of the front view looks like when the given hexagonal pyramid is resting on one of its corner. So it is a problem on axis inclination, and hence we have determined the apparent angle. If it was the case where if it was resting on one of its edge, then we would have not determined the beta angle. So this is how we have to solve the problem on the when it is an hexagonal pyramid resting on one of its corner and the axis is inclined directly to VP and HP. Thank you.